If you are in your 40s or 50s, or you feel constantly on edge, but you can't quite explain why, you're not alone. Many women are carrying something invisible called emotional load. It's the mental and emotional weight of holding everything together, remembering things, planning things, worrying about everyone and supporting everyone. And over time, that builds quietly inside the nervous system. So anxiety doesn't always show up as panic. It shows up as constant thinking, difficult switching off, feeling responsible for everything, and a body that never fully relaxes. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways to begin processing emotional load so your nervous system can finally start to release some of the pressure. And stay with me, because near the end I'm going to explain one hidden form of grief that many midlife women carry without even realising it, and understanding it can instantly make your anxiety more sense. Understanding emotional load in midlife. When psychologists talk about emotional load, they refer to the cognitive and emotional labour involved in managing life. For many women, this includes planning, anticipating problems, remembering responsibilities, and supporting other people emotionally. Your nervous system begins to operate as though it must stay alert at all times. Over time, this sustained vigilance can lead to symptoms many midlife women recognise. Difficulty in switching off at night, racing thoughts, irritability or emotional overwhelm, physical tension in the shoulders, jaw or stomach. None of this means you are weak or failing. It means your system has been carrying too much for too long. The goal is not to eliminate emotion. The goal is to process it in manageable ways so it stops accumulating inside the body. Let's look at a few practical approaches that can help. Emotional load isn't just about responsibilities. There's another layer that many women discover in midlife, and that is unprocessed emotion that has never had the space to move through the body. I want to show you a simple technique therapists use called emotional titration. Emotional titration is small sips, not the whole ocean. When emotions have been building for years, trying to process everything at once. Titration simply means approaching emotions in a small and manageable dose. Here is a simple way to try this. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Choose one stressor or worry that has been sitting on your mind. Rather than analysing it intellectually, simply notice where it appears in your body. Perhaps your chest can feel tight, your stomach feels unsettled, or your shoulders feel tense. Allow yourself to breathe gently through noticing this sensation. You are simply allowing the feeling to exist without suppressing it. When the timer ends, you stop. This teaches your nervous system an important lesson. You can feel emotions safely without being overwhelmed by them. And over time, this reduces the fear's response to difficult feelings. Another reason emotional load becomes overwhelming is that many worries remain unfinished loops in the mind. Psychologists sometimes call this the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains tend to keep thinking about tasks or problems that feel unresolved. This can make anxiety feel constant, and a very typical way to interrupt this cycle is something simple, like a brain dump. Take notes and write down everything currently occupying your mind. Work issues, family concerns, things you are worried you might forget. Do not organise it, just empty the mental clutter onto paper. Then look at the list and circle only the things that you can realistically take action on today. Everything else can remain on the page. Many people find that simply seeing their worries written down reduces their intensity. If you resonate and benefit from my videos, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. As a qualified counsellor, I offer one-to-one sessions. All information is in the description below. Completing the stress cycle, allowing physical release. Humans often try to deal with stress purely through thinking. But stress is not just cognitive, it's physiology. When your body experiences stress, it activates the survival response, such as increased heart rate, muscle tension, and highlighted alertness. You may see an animal shake or tremor briefly before returning to calm. Humans often suppress this instinct, but gently physical release can actually help the nervous system complete the stress cycle. This doesn't need to be dramatic. If anxiety rises, you might shake out your hands, roll your shoulders, or bounce lightly on your heels. Take a few slow, deep breaths. These small movements signal to the nervous system that the threat response can stand down. Over time, this can reduce the build-up of chronic tension in the body. Compassionate boundaries, protecting your energy. Another major contributor of emotional overload in midlife is chronic overgiving. Many women have spent decades prioritizing other people's needs while caring for others is deeply meaningful. Constantly saying yes can quietly drain emotional reserves. Setting boundaries is not about becoming less kind, it's about preserving the energy required to remain well. One simple strategy is something I call the pause. Instead of immediately agreeing when someone asks you for help, allow yourself a moment to check in. You might say something like, "I'd love to support you, but I need to get back to you on that." This brief pause gives your nervous system time to assess whether you truly have the capacity. Healthy boundaries reduce resentment, exhaustion, and emotional depletion. They are essential for maintaining psychological well-being in midlife. Before we go further, I want to pause here because one of the biggest drivers of midlife anxiety is not stress alone, it is unacknowledged grief. Let's talk about that next. By the time we reach midlife, many women have experienced losses that accumulate quietly over time. These might include the loss of parents or older relatives, changes in fertility or reproductive identity, children are becoming independent, shifts in career direction, or the loss of imagined futures we once expected. Grief does not always look like sadness. Sometimes it appears as anxiety, restlessness, or emotional fatigue. Processing grief does not require dramatic emotional release. Often it becomes with honest reflection. You might gently ask yourself, what have I lost over the past 5 years? What parts of my life have I changed in ways I have not fully acknowledged? And what emotions have I been too busy to feel? Simply allowing these questions can begin the process of emotional integration. So integration, why emotional processing reduces anxiety. When emotions remain unprocessed, they continue activating the brain's threat detection system. But when emotions are acknowledged and processed gradually, the brain begins to interpret them as manageable experiences rather than threats. This reduces the intensity of the stress response. In simple terms, the nervous system learns that difficult feelings are not dangerous. They are signals that can move through the body and eventually settle. This is why emotional processing is such an important part of calming midlife anxiety. Midlife anxiety is rarely caused by a single factor. It is often the result of years of accumulating emotional load combined with biological and life transitions. Processing that emotional load does not mean revisiting every painful memory. It means creating safe ways for your nervous system to release what it has been holding. Small moments of reflection, gentle boundaries, writing things down, and allowing your body to move out of stress. These simple practices can begin shifting anxiety from something that controls you to something you understand and can gradually regulate. In the next part of the series, we'll explore something equally important: identity reconstruction in midlife. Because many women discover that anxiety begins to ease when they begin to stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking a different question like, "Who am I becoming now?" If this conversation resonates with you, please like, share and subscribe. It is important to remember something. You don't have to process emotional load alone. Sometimes having a calm, structured space to explore what your nervous system has been carrying out can make a huge difference. You can find the details in the description below. And if this video helped you understand your experience a little more clearly, please don't forget to comment. So take care, and I'll see you in the next video.